government shutdown and the recent controversy surrounding the march, these Oklahoma women traveled over 1,000 miles to have their voices heard here today.
If a person were to obtain a medical marijuana license, this is what they could have. Up to 3 ounces on them at one time. That could roll up to 80 to 160 joints. A person could also have 8 ounces at home and 72 ounces of edible marijuana product. As spring blooms in D.C., people from all over the nation come to Capitol Hill to talk to their lawmakers. Even with all the knickknacks in the windows and the busy cars driving by on Main Street, you still take time to stop and look at the sign here in front of Stamp and Seal in Norman. Eat our way through town one stuffed tortilla at a time. Cheers. The university's interim president was noticeably absent tonight, but the Office of Student Affairs asked him not to attend, as they wanted to keep tonight's town hall a personal engagement between students and faculty.
Sydney Forsee reports from D.C. Music rings in the air as pink hats and picketed signs walk by. Today, the 3rd annual Women's March took place in Washington, D.C., and women from across the country came to show their support for issues affecting them.
I saw the march last year on TV and didn't participate, and this year we just decided to go. I convinced one of my friends to go with me, and here we are.
Despite the government shutdown and the recent controversy surrounding the march, these Oklahoma women traveled over 1,000 miles to have their voices heard here today.
I tend to expect everybody to be perfect, and they say, perfect is the enemy of good. And I think the Women's March in general, marching for women's rights, is a wonderful concept, and I still support that.
With that in mind, these Okie ladies hope to inspire others back home.
The division that's created now has to stop. I think women are the key to bringing it all together. I think the state of Oklahoma needs to start speaking out.
The women in D.C. hope to lead the charge, one sign, chant, and song at a time. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Sydney Forsee, Gaylord News.
It catches your eye. A message sticks out in bold letters. Even with all the knickknacks in the windows and the busy cars driving by on Main Street, you still take time to stop and look at the sign here in front of Stamp and Seal in Norman. Originally opened in 1984, Tyler LaRue bought the custom engraving business 7 years ago.
I have this strong need to just try to make people laugh and just try to make people happy.
For 5 years, a new message has appeared in his front window every week. The goal? Spread happiness.
Life is just really tough, and so many people are dealing with their own personal issues, and there's things that we don't know about. They're looking for a reason to laugh. They're looking for a reason to bring a smile to their face.
The sign brings people in, and they keep coming back. LaRue befriends everyone who walks through his door.
It's people want to come back because they want to see you. They want to come to your business. They want to feel good about themselves. And that's what we try to do.
From people bringing in ideas to being the topic of sermons at local churches, the sign has made its stamp on the community.
Whether they come in and buy anything or not, it's almost not the point. If I didn't get to see people, I wouldn't do this. I just love to see people.
Stamp and Seal doesn't just engrave. It's also in the business of smiles. Reporting from Main Street in Norman, Sydney Forsee, OU Nightly. Faculty and students are welcomed to the Civil Rights Town Hall by a Native American drum song, but the welcoming tone quickly turned sour.
When we said to have this town hall, it was way before we knew that something was going to happen. But we wanted the conversations to continue.
The image of a freshman student in blackface was on the minds of everyone in the room. The university's original plan was to discuss the new We Are inclusion plan, but this weekend's racist incident changed the course of discussion.
But what can we do now that helps us have a better day? Because I'm being honest with you, I'm tired.
That was the question of the night, as students and staff stood up one by one to say they felt enough was not being done by the university to teach inclusion and tackle racist behavior. Ideas such as adding mandatory diversity classes to curriculum were discussed, but the much-needed word of campus decision-makers was missing. The university's interim president was noticeably absent tonight, but the Office of Student Affairs asked him not to attend, as they wanted to keep tonight's town hall a personal engagement between students and faculty. President Harris was expected to attend, but his absence left Student Affairs and the Diversity Inclusion Office struggling to give students answers. After 2 hours, attendees slowly left the gathering with no more answers than when the meeting first started. Sydney Forsee, OU Nightly.